Lord Mayor, honoured guests, fellow members, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this most unusual annual public meeting of the Bradford Cinderella Club. As I speak these words, I have no way of knowing who will hear them, but I trust that someone will, and I thank you most heartily for being one of them. In the 130-year history of the club, there have always been public meetings where club officials, local dignitaries and other interested people have been able to gather together and discuss the past year's activities and the future plans of this wonderful organisation. In some ways this will be the same, but in others it will be vastly different, since it lacks the informality and congeniality of an actual physical meeting. That is unavoidable in the present circumstances, but I hope you will bear with us as we try to keep you abreast of all that is happening within this long-lasting Bradford institution. Historically, the club has always had the aim of improving the lot of Bradford's children, first with treats and entertainments within the city, then with clothing and similar goods, then with day trips to the country and the seaside. These trips leading us to opening one of the earliest holiday homes for such children in this country, and eventually the first purpose-built holiday home. As the times change, the club has adapted to ensure we have fulfilled our aims, and throughout we've done it using funds raised by the club and its supporters without resorting to official funding, and with only the staff at the home as salaried workers. Everyone else has been an unpaid volunteer. There have been two major events this year which have made and will continue to make a vast difference to the Cinderella Club. The first is a refurbishment and repurposing of our Chapel Street headquarters to provide a purpose-built venue by giving a temporary haven to some of our city's underprivileged children at critical moments in their life. The second is the financial impact on the club's finances caused by this new venture and the current COVID-19 pandemic. The new crash pad was a calculated expense, which we had budgeted for. The collapse of the share prices was not, but given time, we will recover and carry on as we have always done in our efforts to help the underprivileged children of Bradford. You'll be hearing more about all this as time goes on, but for now, I'm going to hand you over to our Honorary Secretary, who will read the minutes of the previous public meeting. Mr. Chris Hayden.
Thank you. As I was preparing my report during the COVID-19 pandemic, I have reflected on the challenges we face as a charity. We are robust, with long-standing and strong foundations, but there is no doubt in my mind that fundraising is going to be even more important to us in the coming years than ever before. To continue the work that we have conducted in the last decade, we are going to have to greatly improve in this area. I also note that during this period, we have had fewer people on the committee than I have known since 2015. We need to attract committee members to help share the burden of these challenges and provide fresh impetus and ideas to keep us driving forwards. Throughout the year, work is ongoing to simplify our applications process. This has included discussion amongst the committee and then our trustees to create a set of easy-to-understand guidelines that can be used by the committee to judge all applications with consistency and fairness. Work has continued to create an online application process that offers a great user experience whilst recording everything that we need to judge an application and ensure the sustainability of the charity in the long term. One of our targets during this period was to improve our brand and increase awareness of the ongoing work that Bradford Cinderella is undertaking. We have featured in the local press consistently over the last year and have seen various good news stories highlighted. I hope and expect that we will be able to continue building a great relationship with media outlets across the district. During this year, Bradford Cinderella Club finished the major building work on our headquarters and crash pad facility on Chapel Street in Little Germany. By the end of this financial year, the crash pad was heading for completion in the new year, with an opening in the spring. As many of you will know, we did our formal opening only to have it shut some weeks later by the COVID-19 pandemic. Our Christmas shoebox appeal continues to deliver, with another year providing over 1,000 boxes to the neediest children in the district. We thank Bradford Cathedral for their help in getting this appeal firmly established, but we have decided to move in a new direction for the coming year, with the 2019 shoebox appeal taking place at St Bede's and St Joseph's on the 7th of December 2019. As ever, we supported Christmas parties, provided pantomime tickets and selection boxes throughout the Christmas period. We have continued to send kids on holidays and fun days with the schools, community groups or sports clubs that they attend. Our Card for Care scheme remains an important part of our annual work and continues to grow under the stewardship of Linda Norton. We have changed provider from Asda to Soldo as the Asda version was becoming redundant and the Soldo card offers a more efficient and flexible service. This charity is reliant on both our chair and application secretary. Terry and Julie Pearson. In any given year, we would be struggling without them, but this year more than ever, I believe they have gone above and beyond with the personal sacrifices they make for the children of our district. Simply put, without them, none of our achievements in this year would have been possible. It is a pleasure working with them, and my sincerest thanks for keeping everything going year after year. We are always open to more people coming on board, so if you or somebody you know might be interested, please do get in touch. By doing so, your actions could directly change a disadvantaged child's life. Thank you for taking the time to support us by watching this video. I'm sorry that it's appeared so poorly, and if you're reading this report, it will come across better than the video, I'm sure. Your ongoing support is crucial for the future success of this charity. Finally, I would like to say an extra thank you to all of those involved with the cooperative group who have supported us with substantial fundraising, Easter eggs and selection boxes, again, all through the year. Thank you very much, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you, Chris, for your interesting report. I would now like to ask our Honorary Treasurer, Ms Rachel Thompson, to provide a financial report on the last 12 months.
Present my first report since taking back over as Treasurer. It's therefore my pleasure to now deliver to you the financial report for the period ending 31st October 2019. As the appended auditor's report and financial reports are quite extensive, I've chosen to extract figures that are more pertinent to the activities of funding underprivileged children. In the year ended 31st October 2019, we provided funding of some £10,862 to provide underprivileged children to attend residential activities with their schoolmates, to hold Christmas parties that would otherwise not happen, to send children off to the theatre and to give some a chocolate treat either with a selection box at Christmas or Easter eggs. Every pound that is funded is carefully scrutinised by our committee before being granted. In addition to funding individual children, we also fund the annual Christmas shoebox appeal, a level where we can be secure in the knowledge that every box delivered to a child at Christmas has a range of quality presents inside. In December 2018, the charity purchased goods to the value of around £12,850, plus a further £4,800 in other costs of the purchase of boxes, storage and transport, which makes our annual shoebox appeal a massive investment, but one where we know children who not obviously get anything else at Christmas get something. Our Cards for Care scheme continues to grow at a managed pace by providing continual and one-off support and funding to most disadvantaged children in our area. In the last financial year, funding was £5,290. During 2019, there's been a decrease in the funding of our charity's objectives, the total going down from £41,422 in 2018 to £28,418 in 2019. The largest cost head for the year has been our investment made in the building conversion at 16 Chapel Street to create the new crash pad facility. While the costs invested total £236,000, that cost is then capitalised in terms of our overall balance sheet value. One aspect of this charity's finance we've always been proud of is our low overheads expended in running the charity. Stripping out our audit costs, portfolio management costs and depreciation on our property in Little Germany, the total overhead costs are just £2,225. Costs in this regard will increase once the crash pad is fully functional. It would be remiss of me to finish our annual financial report without expressing our huge thanks to all those individuals who donate to us, whether that be a monthly donation or an individual one. I've long said that the work of this charity can only be done to the extent we achieve with the kindness and generosity of our donors. Thank you. This concludes my financial report for the period ending 31st of October 2019.
Thank you, Rachel, for that clear explanation of the club's current financial position. We cannot actually vote on these proposals today, but we'll do so at our next actual meeting. If anyone wishes to make a comment, please feel free to get in touch with me through our website, cinderellaclub.org. Now, throughout our 130 years, we have maintained a close liaison with Bradford Council and the civic heads. Some have been members of the club, some have held offices within the club, and many have given their support at public meetings. I'd like to invite our current Lord Mayor, Councillor Doreen Lee, to say a few words.
Hello everybody, I'm Councillor Doreen Lee, the Lord Mayor of Bradford. I'm delighted to be able to join you to say a few words today, as like many of you I would have been attending in person were we in ordinary circumstances. As it is, our circumstances are far from normal, but we are all learning to cope with new ways and doing things in these difficult times, and I hope everyone is managing to keep their spirits up nonetheless. The coronavirus has hit us all hard, knowing that fundraising in the charitable sector has been particularly badly affected. So it is a timely reminder to ourselves of the fantastic work that our local charities do and how they can bring much needed sunshine into the dark days some of us are experiencing. The work Bradford Cinderella Club is well known throughout our district, but only for the sterling work it does, not also for its long, illustrious history. Bradford people really do hold it close to their hearts. 130 years ago, the club was first established, and its aim was simple, and it's remained the same ever since. It's to improve the lives of underprivileged children in Bradford. One of my predecessors as Lord Mayor, the late Ernest Saville, was a great supporter of the club. Supported by his wife Florence and their family, they helped spread the word that the club and its aims were great supporters and energetic volunteers, and I know that the link is still strong now. I wasn't surprised to learn that after the information that the original committee in 1890 needy Bradford children were enjoying their first treat within 3 weeks. Bradford folks are clearly generous and open-hearted even then, much as they are today. But no one can accuse the Cinderella Club of being stuck in the past. I was privileged to be at the launch of the crash pad in February, and it is just one example of your initiative thinking, bringing strong mind to the club's warm, welcoming facilities, which used to be at Hest Bank. By providing a home from home and indeed a place to crash when it is needed by underprivileged children and their carers. Our children are our future, and as the old saying goes, the club continuing work ensures that their futures are as bright as possible. And I thank you for all your work and the people of our district for supporting these magnificent efforts. I hope your meeting is a fruitful one. Please take care and stay safe. And thank you for inviting me to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. I'd now invite our chairman, Mr. Terry Pearson, to make a few comments.
My Lord Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, it falls on me again to thank everybody who makes this charity tick. 130 years old, still going strong and still providing what our forefathers set out to do all those years ago, providing treats for underprivileged children. We are in unusual times, we're in very difficult times, but we'll adapt and we'll deal and we'll continue to do what we need to do. Just before I do move on to thank all those who make this charity tick, a few words on the crash pad. It was opened, as you will be aware, in February this year. Since then, we've not been able to actually use the crash pad due to the coronavirus. But we are now looking from the beginning of September. If there are users out there who wish to bring children into the crash pad for that special break, somewhere where they can relax, feel cared for, looked after, no worries, then get in touch with us. We are starting to do inductions. it will be your responsibility, obviously, to look after the children while they're in there. That's not something that we're kitted out to do. So get in touch. Let's get this crash pad used. Let's make some memories with these young children. Fantastic place, fantastic experience for them. So that's the crash pad. One of the other things that we are fairly challenged with is marketing. We've got a fantastic brand for this charity, Bradford Cinderella Club. Most people, we believe now, are aware of us. It was always the old saying that, oh, is that still going? Well, yes, it is. We are still going, we are still here, and we're going strong. But we do need a bit more help, I think. So we need some committed new blood in there, particularly for marketing. If there's anybody out there who has got a skill in marketing and would wish to volunteer some time, get in touch. It's not an onerous responsibility. We meet once a month, second Thursday of each month, for an hour to 2 hours, just carrying out the formal duties that charity does, which is funding underprivileged children. If you can't always make the meeting, it's not a problem. If you want to take a role on, then we can deal with it. It's flexible, but as I say, if you've got those skills, then please do get in touch. It's time to sort of move on now and just thank all those who help us throughout the year. We've got Marlene and Jack at Edison's in Leeds, who look after all our brokerage for insurance. Particularly this last year, we've had some difficulties in getting reasonable competitive insurance to cover the crash pad and its use. There's also Luke at Brewing Dolphin, who deal with all our financial investments. Luke's always on hand, make sure that we're looked after and make sure that we've got the funds that we need to carry on doing what we do. Got Peter, thank you to Peter at Ian Richards & Co, our auditor. Peter puts all the accounts together from Rachel's bookkeeping and then makes sure that we're statutory compliant so we can submit our annual returns. And finally, big thank you to all the officers and committee. Another year ticked off. What can I say? We seem to keep going. We're doing what we do, and I'm sure we benefit a lot of underprivileged children. And just finally, a big thank you to John, who's put all this together. Let's see how it goes. Our first online public meeting. Thank you very much.
I would now like to call upon one of our current trustees and the longest serving member of our club, Mr. Paul Thompson, to propose the adoption of our Treasurer's and Secretary's reports.
My Lord Mayor, Mr. President, Chairman and fellow colleagues, I am pleased to be given the opportunity to propose that both the Treasurer's and the Secretary's reports should be adopted at this meeting. Thank you very much, my Lord Mayor.
That just about wraps it up for now. All that remains for me to do is to thank the Lord Mayor and all our speakers for their contributions, and to thank you for listening to this annual public meeting of the Bradford Cinderella Club, and to invite you all to hopefully attend in person at our next public meeting. Thank you everybody. Good night.